everyone, and welcome to the Scratticus Academy. We are back with some more werewolfy goodness today. So I'm going to say a few things before we head round and say hello to all of these lovely faces you see here. First of all, please check out the content warning for this game. That will be hopping up in the chat in just a moment. Also, along with some links, which include... which include the Discord. There is a channel for this game, and we'd love to hear what you think. Sorry, background scrat can, yeah. Also, if you'd like to get into one of these games, please head over to Twitter and drop Scrat a DM, and we will get you in this game or one of our other viewer games. We are also already planning for next season, so there are lots of opportunities over there for that as well. Also, if you've missed out on anything, you can head over to YouTube and catch up over there. We put all of our games in playlists so that they are easy to watch. Also, a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors in the form of Mage Hand Press. We have their Fae Folio, which is one of our viewer games if you want to come and try it out every Wednesday. And they have also published in hardback Dark Matter, which is one of my absolute favorites. It's D&D in space, so you can pick up your party and throw them into space, and it's a good time. Everyone needs space. Yes. Also, we have Hero Forge. We have a new show, Scrat and I, on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. EDT, where we drink a lot of coffee and play around with their new beta color and textures thing. It's creating these wonderful minis, so definitely come check that out. Also, Dungeon Fog for your map making needs, whether it's for a one-shot or whether it's for a full campaign. They help you structure up your map and also the notes that go alongside with it. The great thing is that if you update something on your map, it automatically updates in the text and all of your notes as well. Last but certainly not least, obviously, also the deck of many things, the moving magic spell cards. They have their Kickstarter, which has just gone, it's been blown out the water. It's amazing. I'm particularly excited for the moving magic tarot cards, which I really want to use in all of my games. A little obsessed with that. Also, check out their Humblewood. We also play that on a Thursday. It is a viewer game, so if you want to come and try it out, just drop Scrat a message. Okay. We are going to go round and say hello to all of these lovely people. And we're going to start with a very lovely Lily. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I'm usually first in these things and yet never prepared. My name's Lily Sparks. I'm the girl with many lives. You can catch me being lots of weird characters and voices throughout a number of worlds and channels. All of the details are in my Twitter bio, which you can find at Lily Sparks with an X. Most notably, I'm very excited to be DMing the next season in Scratticus Academy. So y'all will see me here again, much more, always, probably, because I can't get enough. And I'm also going to be on the Gilding Light channel on Sundays, DMing again for a very magical girl adventure. And, you know, Gilding Light just has amazing GMs, other people here included. So, yeah, check me out and hope y'all enjoy our game tonight. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you. Then we're going to hop down and say hello to Mac. Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm Mac. I don't really have a bio because I didn't think the right one. Happy to be here. That's all I got currently.
I love the arm movement that goes in it. Happy to be here. No, I love it. We're happy to have you here. Otherwise, we are going to hop over and say hello to Jess. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I'm Jessica. I don't actually think that I'm that interesting. I am a professor and a marketing person, and I'm a really big nerd. My PhD is in science fiction, so that should give you some kind of sense. Lily and I also stream, or we did for a while, and we hopefully will again, on Roll for Damage, which is an all-women, like, Femmes and Friends channel. I'm still kind of getting over the idea of Gilding Light because it's so good as a name. And yeah, that's, I don't know, I'm playing Rosalind Tate, who is like me, an academic, but she's more interesting.
Oh, I should have introduced my character, but you know, I am the character, so.
You are totally the character. The character is you. You are the character. I am also sort of the character, but I don't know. It's funny. I actually don't think I'm that uninteresting. I just can't figure out what to say about myself that is particularly useful.
It's weird being put on the spot as well. So
yeah, but you'd think that I would be used to this sort of thing by now. It's like, here, introduce yourself. I'm like, hi, I'm Jess. Yeah, cool.
I mean, yeah.
I live in Vancouver. I'm Canadian, so that's cool. Come up to Vancouver. It's really nice here, and we have a good prime minister who, I don't know, who's really hot. This is fun. Next person.
It's me. Hi everyone. I'm White Rabbit Pick on Twitter and on Instagram. I am one of the founders of the Academy, where we love to, as you can see here, come and bring more people to play TTRPGs. I am also a DM over on Tales for the Grim for Lily, as we play Aether's Walkway, a sci-fi homebrew world of mine. And like Lily, I'm also one of the female DMs over on Gilding Light. They have some very awesome DMs. Otherwise, I'm going to hand over to our wonderful Alpha, Gaia.
I made this mistake last week. I will not make it again. Oh, welcome everybody to tonight's session of In the Light of the Moon. I apologize for any ambience in the background. My husband has decided he wants to clean the kitchen now. So we'll just call it whatever. I am Kaya Gasson. I am your alpha for this Monster of the Week tweaked game In the Light of the Moon, where our two main characters are werewolves, a part of a pack in a small Colorado town called Silver Hollow. They have been chosen and not bitten for the strength of their hearts and merit. Last session, our Alice/Pan was unfortunately indisposed, and we missed them greatly, which is probably why I forgot a Wookum, because I was like, and so our other werewolf, our berserker, our Rhys, went out on a mission on her own with our guests Nova, Nova and our other guests, who were going on a mission to obtain a weapon of sorts called the Moon-Kissed Sword, in hopes that it would be their kind of like edge against the demon Marius that is working for the corruption that has invaded our plane of existence yet again. They were able to obtain this sword through no short of heroism against some corrupted animals trying to break through that veil. Our ghost Carl ascended after helping us get through and fight everybody, and our divine and our spooky go on as friends. Rhys sent her first full text with no emojis, as they had learned to make new friends. And that was where we left off, with Rhys arriving back in Silver Hollow with the sword in hand, and that is where we will pick it up. Sorry for the ADHD recap. Take it away, my wolves.
Am I back in Silver Hollow?
I'll say yes.
So I guess I sent that to Pan and then made the road trip back. So I don't know. What's Pan saying?
Pan probably, I won't lie, she's probably broken her phone or something to that effect, as she's been panicking a little bit. So now she's panicking over the broken phone because she can't get hold of Rhys. And Rhys, I think Pan knows that Rhys is no longer in town. So she's probably walking the streets yelling to see if Rhys is there, like, Rhys! Like, because she doesn't know how else to do it. She's asking people, like, have you seen Rhys? This tall, kind of slender manish, like, just sort of going around and asking, because she knows that probably that Rhys was on their way home, but has now no way to contact them. She probably would have broken the phone when just doing the stuff she was doing at home as she started digging out a lot of her old things and processing stuff. And I think it just went a bit chaotic. Like, for the first time ever, if anyone goes back to her flat, it's not tidy. It's not uniform. All the drawers are emptied. Everything is a bit different to how it normally is. But yeah, she's walking the streets like, hello.
You didn't want to try and like get another phone.
She does not think like that. Okay, she only just got the phone she had.
There's a Target like a half an hour away.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Could we just have a moment where, like, screw time and all of those things, but Rhys just pulls up in the car right in front of Pan as Pan has been wandering around for like 5 minutes?
Absolutely. Like, of course. Throw it in there.
Yeah.
Describe this poetic, serendipitous scene of Rhys and Pan reuniting.
So Pan is like just wandering around, saying my name. What does Pan look like as she's doing this, though?
Pan is currently in she lent you her yellow anorak. She is currently in she's been digging around some of her stuff, and she's currently wearing an old army jacket. It looks a little bit too big for her, but she's just in the oversized jeans, the boots. Her hair's probably tied back a little bit as she's just walking around. She's just walking. She's asking everyone. I mean, some people have said, do you want to borrow my phone? She doesn't know Rhys's number. It's the whole point of having a phone. You keep the numbers in that. Again, real life Alice. But it's the whole point. So she doesn't know what to do. And it's kind of like going into shops. If you see Rhys, tell her you saw me and I'm looking for her, and just literally going everywhere.
So I'm picturing Alice, or Pan. Well, I picture Pan as Alice, just wandering down the street in her oversized stuff, and then like this nondescript car just pulls up, and Rhys in all of her, like 7 foot tall, slender man-esque form, just like slinks out of the car, wearing Pan's anorak. So like,
how
the
big is that
go
on you?
Yeah, like the sleeves are like here. It's like real tight around the shoulders. And she is also carrying a short sword, like a half of a short sword. It's a quarter sword. I forget what we settled on. What
a half sword? I think we called it a half sword.
Yeah.
It's not quite a long sword, but not quite a short sword. It's like in between.
Yeah. A medium sword.
A medium
and I feel
sword,
like
a medium.
Yeah, a medium. And I feel like it was like the sword actually came out first of the nondescript car, like just a big sword thrust out, big slinky slender man body, and a tiny anorak jacket, and then just like lurking over Pan. Oh, hi.
And she just like wraps her arms around you quickly, like tightly. It's like, oh, thank God you're safe. I didn't hear anything, mainly because my phone was broken, but I was worried, I was concerned. And who the hell gave you a sword?
Oh, no one gave it. I guess you didn't see my text, so. But that's okay.
I saw some of it.
Okay.
I saw some of it. Like, as she's like, she holds up a phone which is completely smashed. Like, it is cracked all the way across the side. And I think it's on. Like, I think the text is there, but it's just broken up in the screen. And she's probably sat there for a while trying to like decipher it.
All you see is I learn. Be friends.
Be
That's all you can read on it.
Rhys gets like a real awkward look on her face, and she sort of like swats the phone down to the ground. She's like, "It's not important. I got this sword because Aminata asked me to. So I think we're supposed to stab the demon guy with it. I freed a ghost with it. That was cool.
You've been busy.
Yeah. It was weird. But when I got the sword, I wrapped it in your jacket first, because then it would be like you did. So I hope that you felt that. And she will just try and like push the sword into Pan's hands and be like, you did this. You.
And she sort of takes it, and she doesn't know, because these two are both freaking awkward. She's like, just does a really awkward smile up at Rhys. Well, probably a Rhys smile. Yeah, I'm gonna bare my teeth at you in a happy way. Sort of hold it. It's like reaches out with a hand and sort of pats on the like on the upper arm. It's like, I'm really proud. Like she's trying to actually convey it, but it's not coming across right.
And Pam, what is placed into your hands is a nicely sized sword, a schmedium of sorts.
Pan-sized.
It is silver. It gives off a very iridescent moonlight glow. At the center of the hilt, there is a deep purple inlaid jewel. Rhys had asked if it was like the amethyst that you had retrieved from the mountain. It is not, because it lacks that silver vein that runs through it, but it is still a very deep purple. I described it very much She-Ra kind of sword-esque, because I love She-Ra by the power of Grayskull again. But probably a little bit more in this plane of dimension, not in an animated plane of dimension. The feeling itself, it bears a weight that doesn't feel as though itself is extremely heavy, but that the history and the power behind it lends a weight to it. But in your hands, it feels manageable, as if even it can be used across whatever strength system. It could be used by a child if that's really somebody who wants to wield it. But that it is quite powerful wrapped in your anorak. Or is Rhys still wearing the anorak, or did they just...
No, I'm wearing it now, but when I grabbed the sword, I grabbed it with the anorak, but then, I missed Pan. It was a long road trip back, so I just put the anorak on again. And was just holding the sword in my lap like a kid with a lollipop on a car ride.
The anorak smells very much of rubber and tea and cleaning solution.
Good.
Probably
Toblerone
as well.
It's about 3/4 length sleeve on you.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna try and like squirm out of it to give it back.
Yeah, Pan's gonna be like, no.
You're
You're good. Keep it. It suits you.
So Rhys being back with the sword, what would you two like to do?
I think Pan would be like, do we need to take do we need to take this to Armanada?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I imagine there's probably, some other monster to kill this week. So we should probably get the lowdown on this sword and then go kill it.
It sounds about right.
These days, I'm just going to give you all a shopping episode. And that's all it's
I will thrive.
Our
shopping or a
guests,
food episode. You've seen us with food.
Our two guests will literally just be shopkeeps, and that's all that they will do the whole time. Is just talk to you. We'll swap through NPCs.
Hey, let me barter for that magical sword there.
Let me have buying a new anorak session where I get Rhys out.
It has been so long since I've actually gone into a store that I would be okay with that. I feel like, look, there's a till.
Should I throw out my entire plan and everybody just improv a shopping episode?
They're like, yes, you can keep the change.
I had to throw shade at my Monster of the Week game every week. Every week, there's got to be a new monster.
She's an angsty
You bring in
teenager.
a broken sword. I can't really give you much for this. You rubbed off the subpoena. I can't do nothing here. I give you the $25 for it, the best I can do.
I vote this continues because that was amazing. Does anybody have like the sound clip from the beginning of Sex and the City? Like, are we gonna go shop for some Manolos? We could do that.
That was never. No. It's not in my repertoire.
No, that's okay.
Only strange Brooklyn accents is all I got.
That
I'm
works.
Southern because Florida.
Hey, I'm slaying demons over here.
Well, you come in here every week with this shit. I don't know. Draining me dry. I'll give you $30 in this mint.
$30 for half sword?
It's a quarter sword. Come on, it's unique.
That's
we
not better.
$30. We have gone off the rails.
This is my new character, the expert on swords.
I can hear Scrat laughing in the other room.
It's so good. No, I feel like seriously, like you could be like the demon, like shopkeeper,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like
Who's just so tired of our shit. He keeps
Yeah.
coming in like,
We don't-
hey,
we
look
don't have
what
to
we
do-
slayed this week.
I am here for you. They just decided that I was the weirdo that should be running this. I should not be running this because I'll be like, all right, cool. You want to go to a mall because we want to role play out what we can't have in the pandemic? Let's do it.
well, I feel like there was a very specific call out of there being a Target in this town. And they were very excited about there being a Target.
There is a
So-
Target a half an hour away. Yeah.
I would say Pan's probably never been and didn't know it was there.
Reese
So
probably
don't
doesn't go
take
there
her
on principle.
I feel like there's some really demonic shit that can go down at a Target though.
My God. Yeah.
Like-
Walmart.
Can you imagine? Well, no, like Target is just like Walmart with like a happy little mask.
Well, if you really want to like start dissecting Target, I'm pretty sure Target is a feasting demon that draws you in and tells you what you need to feed it.
We get sued by Target.
It is.
Oh my
You know,
god.
it's fair use parody. Whatever. I mean, it literally drew a target on its back. Come on, it's fine. If they wanted not for people not to make fun of them, then they should probably have better things in their stores.
I don't know, man. I think Kmart was the winner of liminal shopping centers. You ever been in a Kmart at 2 a.m.?
Oh my god.
Yes.
You're so
Two things.
Canadian.
I know
Yeah.
none of these shops.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah.
We are talking about.
We've got two Canadians and two people. We have two Canadians, a
Two
Brit,
Canadians
and
and
then
two
people,
people?
Mac and I, who are both from the South that know 100%.
Then if it's two people, what the hell am I?
Two Canadians
I just-
and two people.
Oh my
I take
god,
off
what's
my headset
happening?
and I knock on their door. Hey, you want to go to Kmart at 2 a.m.?
Yeah. Let's
Actually,
go.
they have a soul sword sell.
You want to talk about
Just
aliens
also-
existing? They existed at Kmart at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. That dude.
That or a hellmouth, one of the two, or both. I don't know. Who knows?
New Doom DLC.
I will make this a shopping episode. I'm not above it.
Okay.
Oh, welcome! I see you brought in another sword. Well, I hope it's a full sword.
Ah, half sword.
This is so Monty Python.
Oh my god, what's happening?
Lion stranger, more broken swords.
What'd you do to this sword? Did you give it a bris? What am I gonna do with a circumcised sword?
Oh god.
That's
He
my
literally
people. That is the
runs
song
a
of my people.
store called Broken Swords R Us.
Hmm.
And you go in and there's not a full sword anywhere.
That's just what Arlo and Tater are doing. It's like, I'm telling you, there's no full swords in this town. It's for whatever reason, you see a sword, you break it. That's all you got here.
You literally walk into the store and it's a Build-A-Bear of swords. You just pick this one, you pick this one.
That would be fun, though. That would be fun.
I would go to that store. 100%.
Okay. Moving on.
So.
Oh gosh, you guys.
It was I forgot to ask in the chat like if this stream was a stream where you could like be ridiculous and like chat about weird stuff and now I have my answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean.
Clearly this is
I think we had, what, an hour and a half in the airport one time?
Did. Sure fucking did. You know?
Do you remember going to the airport and not being terrified for your life?
I did that a
No.
few weeks ago.
No, I'm a
Yeah.
90s baby. I've been terrified this whole time.
Anywho.
Well, I'm an 80s baby. So, ADHD is going off the rails today. So, welcome to our stream of madness. You both take your. It is a complete sword. It's just like shorter, but not too short.
I think we should
It's
just say
medium
sword now because otherwise I got the sword.
Yep.
It's just small. There's still a sword.
It's pan sized for my convenience.
Mhm,
You're absolutely right. This is a serious stream.
mhm.
100%. Absolutely. So,
Oh.
you set off towards Amanada's. I don't even know. Like, I'm
Mhm.
totally cool with just being at Target deals. I'll take it. Everybody put effort in this shit.
Pan's like, to Amanada's. Hang on, she probably wouldn't put the sword away. She probably would just walk out with it. I mean, she walked around with a machete last time, so
You live in a town that 99.4% of the people know about the supernatural, know about you all, and know what their purpose is there. So walking around with a sword is not going to be any other Tuesday.
With Rhys just like lurking over her. I'm really happy that you're okay. I was worried when you said you needed time. I didn't know how much time. I tried to Google it, but it was very all over the place.
It was just about dogs and how they mourn.
I mean, fair. Like, well, you did everything I would do. I'm just glad you're safe.
Yeah. I don't know. My friends drove off really fast, though, after we became friends. Do you think that's a good sign of friendship?
They 100% are still there. They haven't driven off.
Oh,
we were just walking away like, bye.
And they're like, we live here now. If you need anything, we'll be over at the apartment.
Remember I said it's hard to have many friends. As soon as I saw one again, I forgot about the other ones. Thank you for the ride. I'll Venmo you the money. I said Venmo because I'm Canadian and I never get to say that usually.
We have Venmo down
I
here.
know what that is.
No, I know. That's why we do not have Venmo. That's why this was my chance to plug it as a Canadian. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I think like I'd like to do an awkward mum wave, you know, when you drop your kid off with another parent. I sort of do that towards the car. I'm like, you made friends. That's really good.
I made 3. One of them was a ghost, and we had to send them on to the afterlife. So, but I think they still count as my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's still 2 more than me. I had a conversation with I had a kind of a friendship going with the receptionist, but that went downhill.
Killing off your friends.
You go near Rhys and
I just realized I'm just killing all of your friends.
Thanks, Alpha. Let's go make some new friends, shall we?
Let's go to Amanada's with the sword.
So we make our way to the library.
In a very Link-esque fashion, I want to head to the library.
Uh-huh.
Pan had 2 friends.
Had 2 friends, they killed both of them.
I'm still alive.
Like, Rhys was like best friend, and they was like, oh, friend acquaintances. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
into the bin.
Oh.
Yeah, we head to the library. I'd like to walk valiantly with the
And
the
everyone's
sword.
dead at the library. The library is on fire.
My parents work there. How dare you? Damn it.
Joke's on you. Don't make connections with anybody. The car crashes with your 2 new friends in it.
I would like to arrive at the library though, and like when I see Amanada, be like, da, 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 like, and hold out the sword, but then gesture to Rhys in the very Will Smith, like, she did it.
Very Will Smith pose. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'll go, woo.
Okay. Yes, you stroll up to the library safely. The library is in one piece. It is not in flames. Everybody who you are acquainted with are still alive and well within the library. Your parents are good. Your one friend, you have Malkin. He's still cool. The comic book store, he's still alive. You know.
Trevor still works at the diner.
Trevor still works at the diner. Absolutely. You know, it's just your best friend, the Alpha, and then your workmate. They died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho.
So you walk into the library, walking past, of course, the mundane books like you normally do, to the door in the back that leads to a spiral staircase down, because I really like things being very stereotypical, spooky, into the underground portion of the library that holds all of the knowledge of the pack. You find Amanada easily. She is still working through deciphering all the information of the tome that you found, that she had explained to Rhys earlier, that it was almost like an evil person's diary, where each person who was an avatar or a a servant to the corruption and what they tried to animate it in this realm would essentially dictate what they had done, and it was kind of like each person after that's like trying to one up it, you know. And she looks up and sees you both enter in, and she is very happy to see you both, and very impressed to see the sword. And she goes, yeah, come on in. And she goes, Rhys, you did so well. How did it all go?
It was fine. I did mess up at one point because I tried to make pancakes with the pancake mix in the motel microwave, and then the ghost came and made an air bubble in the pancake and then exploded it and made a mess. But everything else did really good. Yep.
Even Pan slowly turns to look at this because who the hell would do that to a pancake?
I'm very happy to hear that you only had trouble with the pancakes.
Yep.
Only?
And she kind of gestures to kind of see if she can take a look at the sword.
Chucks it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be like, haha! Like, no.
You kill Aminata instantly.
No.
That's
Ah,
another
dang
loss.
it, down to one friend!
Oh God, I'm getting nervous.
This is like the Highlander of friends. They're gonna be only one.
The other half. Oh wait.
Oh, wait. It is a full sword.
A full small sword.
And she takes a look at it and she goes, I've only heard about this in myth. It's
Swords.
lighter than I expected and then also heavier. And she'll kind of like take a look at it and kind of go over. She's like, so what I've read is this kind of was used by the warriors of the moon goddess, the one that, you know, the lichen also serves. And it's very powerful, and it's I guess it's purity.
Shiny.
Huh?
It's shiny.
It is very shiny. For an entity like the corruption, this would be a very powerful tool if they'd been able to get their hands on it. Were there any troubles getting this outside of the pancakes?
Well, I mean, there were a bunch of like corrupted creatures that were around and trying to stop us, and there was like a shimmery barrier thing, but then my ghost friend like punched it a bunch of times and then it disappeared. So, you know, the corrupted creatures weren't too much of a problem. I just went all like, ruff, ruff.
Right.
And then my other friend had a bow and was like, pew, pew. I made some friends.
She kind of looks at you like she's happy that you made friends. Like, thank God Rhys is finally making friends. And she just smiles and nods. Like,
Please don't kill them.
Oh my God, I'm not gonna kill. Isn't it my job as a GM to just cause max pain?
Max Payne.
I mean, like, Max Payne.
Great DM name.
Yeah. But, like, Pan sort of, like, puffed up a little bit pleased that Rhys has made friends like that proud aunt, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
That proud older sister's like, yep, all
Yay,
on her own.
my awkward child is making awkward friends. I'm so happy. And kind of
I am worried though, because I mean, if the corruption is spreading, we had to drive like hours, like through 3 of my burned CDs to get there, and so the corruption is starting to go other places, and we can't track all of them, right? Who knows how many people are getting hurt? But you know, I don't know. They probably don't want to.
So much Fall Out Boy.
Thanks for the memories.
Yeah, 100%.
Sugar, we're going down.
It's hard to say how far the corruption spread. I mean, this is an entity that's been around for millennia. I don't even know if it's something so much that can go away. It's just, it rears its head, it finds a follower, and Wallower tries to exhibit as much destruction on the world as it possibly can before it's stopped. I mean,
Or
I
before we
assume
stab it with a short, full sword.
a medium sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I don't really know what our next play is. I know that we need
We
to
should
figure
find
out
him, stab
where
him
he is.
with the sword.
And I feel like that's a perfect place to see what Rosalind and Arlo are up to. Heading their way towards some possible allies, maybe stopping at the Target on the way in, picking up sanitizer, gloves.
Is there a pandemic in this world too?
No.
Okay.
Somehow Purell has made it into this game because that's our coping mechanism, is really dark humor.
This
And,
game
um,
started right like when quarantine started. Like
right.
our
when it-
first episode, we had a lot of hand sanitizer references because of that, and now it's just we've devolved into half-hour fake shopping episodes. So.
Yep.
Anyways, that's the mood now.
You know, whatever we need to get through this time.
Yeah, I think hand sanitizer is it, I guess. Sorry.
We've set creatures alight with Purell.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do not try that at
99%
home.
of all germs.
I don't condone anything that is done during the stream for anything at home. We take zero responsibility. That's your problem.
You do though seem to have an entity called the corruption that's causing a lot of havoc in your world. Maybe, just maybe, there is some role for hand sanitizer in getting rid of that.
God, I hope you have to reforge this sword in Purell. Molten Purell.
We must bless it in pure rubbing alcohol.
I mean, I've
Oh
poured
my gosh,
Purell on
that's-
basically everything else so far,
Yeah,
including one of my friends. So.
You poured Purell on like in the game or in real life?
Yeah.
Oh no, in the game.
Okay. Also in real life, probably, maybe? I don't know.
Nah, not as much. Most of my
I may or may
friends.
not have been coping a lot by playing Horizon Zero Dawn, so
Mm-hmm.
Working
might be
on
another
recording.
reason as to why there's corruption in this game.
Also, that's like that game is all about like, oh, look at this broken world. Cope with broken world by Broken World War.
Welcome to Into the Light of the Moon, our 3-hour therapy session where we try to cope with everything on fire.
Amazing. And we set it on fire with Purell, apparently.
Sure do.
Cool. So Arlo, I think we are we're not at the library. Are we a Target? Are we a Target? Are we like in a car listening to burned CDs? If so, like what CDs are they?
Do we get to decide where we are, or
I think we decide where we are. I think we eventually have to get to the library. But maybe are we at the sword store?
we're at an antique store? Do you
Target
have
is the sword store.
Purell?
Excuse me, do you have any swords?
I think you'll have to go to the Walmart for that one.
Across the aisle from the guns.
The guy. Shit.
All the Canadians make the guns a Walmart joke. Cool. Yay. It's true though.
Where's the lie?
There
I
isn't.
guess we're maybe on the car going to a Target or Walmart then?
Yeah. Well, are we going to Target or Walmart, or are we going to like an antique store where there might be swords? Like, because you're a demon and I'm a professor of demonology. And
Well, thanks for the reminder. It's real nice remembering. Real easy.
sorry, you know what?
Totally
I
just
like
tattoo it on my head.
I could tattoo it. That's not, don't do yourself down like that. It's
No, it's fine. Like, I understand you got this weird thing about mentioning it. Like, I'm a demon, you're not. We're trying to do this whole research thing. Let's just go to an antique store and we'll be done with it. It'll be fine.
I mean, we could just go to Target. I just think that if you're looking for like the reliquary from like 100 years ago, Target might not have it in stock. Like if what we're looking for is like information, if what we're looking for is some kind of, they just don't have a very well stocked antiquities section. I'm really sorry. They've got more like toilet paper and Purell and things.
Let's stop by Target first for some snacks, and then we'll see if this town has an antique store, and hope we find a MacGuffin. Because I
All
am
right.
out of ideas.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want snacks, we can totally go get snacks. We can, if you just let me know. I don't know what they have at Target. They probably have snacks.
Don't patronize me. I know they have what I want at Target. They got the little Reese's.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. You know what? It's cool. Let's go to Target. And then obviously, I think I'm driving.
I'm making too many hand gestures to be driving.
You're what?
I'm making too many hand gestures to
That
be
is
driving.
true. That's true. I
Driving with the
mean, you could
knees
just be
and
driving
just-
really badly. You could have like a Tesla where you could just like go wee and then it just keeps driving for you. But I don't think anybody in this town is a Tesla. So no, it's a Tesla free zone. All right, so we're gonna head to Target.
Okay.
And we can get out of the car. Or at least I'm gonna get out of the car. I don't know what you're doing, Arlo.
Perfect.
I mean, you just
say everybody
Arlo,
is keeping a safe distance from each other.
Oh no, the pandemic is in this world.
No, I don't want to keep a safe distance from anybody. The whole point of being
No,
on this
everything
right
is
now is so that we don't have to do
completely
that.
It's a busy insert day of the week. It's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Since
okay.
It's Tuesday today. There's a good amount of people. Everybody's saying hi. Everybody is like high-fiving. It's a good day.
Aww.
All the shelves are stocked. There's no shortage whatsoever. There's toilet paper. There's paper towels. Bleach is a thing. They've got it if you need it.
Ooh.
It really is a
meat,
fantasy
nothing-
game,
everything's
isn't
good.
it?
Yep.
The addendum of bleach and milk implies that they have bleach and milk nearby. There's horrible accidents.
Oh my god, that's a terrible
The
idea.
fitting rooms are open for you to be able to try on your clothes 100%. Everything is A-okay at Target.
Oh, okay. So Arlo, I know you wanted Reese's. Go get the Reese's. Go get the Reese's you wanted.
Be right back.
I'll wait for you. All right. I'll wait for you.
Arlo walks off to go get Reese's.
All right. I'm gonna sort of secretly, slightly ashamedly peruse the jumpsuits.
Absolutely. There are some really comfy jumpsuits. There's one that looks like it's denim, but it's like really lightweight, would definitely
Is
jive
it
with you.
Tencel?
Yeah.
I want it. I'm gonna buy it.
Okay, you buy it.
Cool.
It's interesting because it is like late October here, and it is Colorado.
You got the
It's a little cold. It's a little cold, but they're kind of like just trying to like stay with the fall.
Yeah.
So maybe buying like a nice sweater with it would be a good idea. It looks super cute with like a belt and a necklace.
I love that you're being my stylist right now. Okay.
I may not look like I have style, the fact that I'm wearing nothing but a sports bra and a flannel, because that's
Are you the bored
it's-
teenager working the fitting room at Target?
100%.
Are you that NPC right now?
I am.
It's not that you don't look stylish. It's more just like that there is a stylist in this game who is telling me what to buy at Target on the
At
stream on
Target.
Twitch right
Listen,
now
Target
in
is
my
my
life
weakness.
at this moment.
If Target's listening, I'd love a sponsorship.
Yeah, Target, if you're listening, I really love Tencel and I look really cute in a jumpsuit.
And
Wearing
like
swimming
she
trunks.
looks at you and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I've almost bought that same exact thing. I'm waiting for my paycheck to come in. It's super comfortable."
I really want to buy it, but I feel really awkward because I have a salary because I'm a professor and she doesn't. So I feel really bad for her. So I feel like maybe I should buy it for her too. But
I mean, if you don't.
is
tell
that
her, I
weird? No,
won't.
that's weird. That's too
It is
weird.
a little weird.
That's a little weird. No, I'm just gonna keep the awkwardness inside, and I'm gonna say thank you so much. I hope that I hope we can totally be twins. Also, I feel awkward because she's probably like 16 and I'm 40.
She's like 18, 19. She's not like super young.
That's not that much better, but like okay. I mean, like Rosalind
Listen,
looks.
I'm 30 and
reasonably
I
young.
still shop at American Eagle. Like everybody. So
Oh, I shop at American Eagle and I'm 38 IRL, so
they make great jeans.
they do, and they make really cute jumpsuits. Like pretty much everything I own that is a jumpsuit is from American Eagle. So
What even is this episode today?
it's really great. Yeah. Do you remember being able to go to shop in a store where you could try on clothes and you didn't have to like order them from online and hope and pray that they fit you? And do you know that like if you buy a small in one brand, it's like a large in another brand and like an extra small in another brand. So everybody's wasting so much money on clothes that don't fit. Anyway, so Arlo, I think probably are you ready with your Reese's?
I've got like the big bags of them, and just like I couldn't decide, so I got multiple things. I've got some Reese's trail mix, some like dried fruit. I've just got a lot, honestly.
All right, so what we're doing later, remember, is we're going to see if there's one of these like benign feeding environments for you for your fear thing. So I don't want you to lose your appetite. So please just make sure that you like moderate with the recess.
No.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I'm not feral. I'm not gonna just devour it all.
Well, no, I know you're never feral. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be
feral.
conscious of what we're doing today. Be conscious of the goal of what we're doing today, okay?
What does Arlo look like is my question, because I'm picturing like basically like a full-out D&D demon just prancing around Target getting
With like
armfuls
getting
of
the
candy.
snacks,
Like,
like
just
I need my Cheez-Its. Like, it's like-
I kind of picture Arlo like indeterminate, like he's very tall, around like maybe 6'5", like rail thin, and kind of this army barf green like winter jacket and jeans, and some like rock band, kind of olive dark skin, and like this hair with this horrible skunk streak of him attempting to dye his own hair, but then realizing he could just change that. So he's got dreadlocks with this horrible white streak through it, and I picture he's like got a foot or two on Rosalind, and he walks with a hunch most of the time, just kind of over, and so he's this has really developed quickly into, Mom, I'm not gonna mess up my appetite before dinner.
I suspected that this was going to be like, Mom, and me being like, fine.
I'm a grown demon.
I know you are, but you're still learning. Have a growth mindset, Arlo. We have to have a growth mindset if we want to make sure that we're able to learn, instead of just like saying no to learning. We always want to say yes to learning, even if it's difficult.
I honestly don't know why you stick with the professor thing, even when we're like miles away.
Well,
I don't want to do what I planned at all. I just want to watch this.
Hey,
I mean,
it's all about improv.
Yeah, there you go.
At this point, like I'm about to throw whatever I've created like back and just be like, let's just do it.
Do it, whatever. I'm game to just like be mom for the next little bit to like a recalcitrant demon.
Can we just get the snacks and go?
I mean, we can. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure you know what you're doing. You're a grown man, demon. You're a grown demon, man.
Man demon.
And you're a grown being.
Person demon.
You are a grown conscious thing, person thing, with personhood, and you have your own free will. I just want to encourage you to make the choices that you're going to be proud of later.
What? Sorry, I was on my phone for a second.
Of course you were.
What?
Okay, give me the phone. I know. Why were you?
No!
Give me the.
Holds it up in the air.
All I can think of like right now is just like, but the eating fear is like a minute on the lips, a year on the hips. Like that's all I can think of right now.
Has anyone at Target stopped to watch this? Because I don't feel this is subtle.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah!
Yeah, two people are down at the end. You can tell that they are obviously not like buying anything. They're just like making an excuse to stay in the aisle so that they can listen to the domestic that's going on.
It's not a domestic. I'm just. You know what? I'm just making a suggestion. Okay. I'm not telling him what to do. I'm just making a suggestion.
Susan
Maybe it's gonna be up to him.
Aaron are real interested in your conversation.
Everybody stop what they're doing and look at Lily's background.
Have you not noticed this?
It's been there for a
She's
while.
like leaning
been
into
for a
her
while.
daughter and being like,
did you overhear that conversation that I'm so glad that you aren't a teenager yet. Yeah, Mom, I know.
my
I'm
God.
gonna be wonderful forever. The end.
That was the little
child
side puppet
secretly
show.
Yeah.
pockets a candy bar without their mom saying.
Yeah. Arlo, I know what you're watching. You can't feed through the phone. Stop with the old vines of people being scared. A, they're fake. B, you can't, it's empty calories. Just stop. Just stop. You're wasting your time.
I really wasn't expecting. It's still. I'm getting practice, like looking at the pranks that they pull. God.
But you're not going to pull those pranks. The whole point, Arlo, the whole point is that we're trying to create an environment where things can be benign, right? A benign feeding environment, not a prank feeding environment, not like a surprise you're on candid camera feeding environment, a benign feeding environment.
This isn't a benign feeding environment right now, and he walks off to the checkout aisle.
If I wanted to have kids, I would have had kids. And then she walks after him.
Can't feed.
You need me to buy this, don't you?
No, I've got money.
You do.
Yeah.
I've got
Really?
a part-time job.
How old is Arlo?
25.
He's 25?
Yeah.
One of my books just randomly fell out. I'm like, oh, I'm on it.
That's Arlo.
Oh, thanks, Arlo. So,
Hey, 20
go ahead.
bucks. Yeah, he pays for it. He's getting like flustered. It's like, yeah, he pays for it. He's just getting flustered that she's like momming him. He's like, come on, you're just my physician. God, he's like slowly turned into a frat boy. Like,
I'm
come
just
on,
your
come back.
physician. Okay.
I feel like Arlo, when he goes up to pay for his candy bar, are you paying with cash or card? Cash?
Yes.
Okay. So
Oh God.
so the cash register opens and she's like putting everything into the register, and like out of nowhere, like one of them slaps one of the like money things slaps down and scares the shit out of her, and you get a little sweet taste.
That's real nice.
Hello.
No. She's right there. Like it was a little. She got a
Okay.
fright bite.
Okay,
She's
what
got a
did we
fright
talk
bite.
about without verbalizing? We don't verbalize. We inside, not outside. Inside voice. Inside voice is silent. Inside voice means yes. Inside voice is happy. Okay?
For a moment, you just see him like kind of like grit his teeth, and like the grin like extends path where it should end on his face. And he's just like,
Okay. All right,
It's a
Beth,
little
let's go.
unsettling, and it kind of piques her just a little bit more fear. Not like enough that she's like stammering, but enough that you could sense the uncomfortableness, because everybody has a sixth sense of people who's around them. But she hands you your change, drops a couple of the coins, and like picks them up and gives them to her. You have a great day.
We will.
yeah, you
Yeah.
too.
All right. All right, and because I want to reward him for being like reasonably okay at the checkout, I sort of look at him and I say, "So, time to go sword shopping now, eh?" Just to kind of scare her a little bit, because I'm that kind of bitch a little.
Okay.
Yay!
If there was a panic button underneath the register, she would have hit it.
But there isn't.
But she just kind of like, okay, and like checks you out as quick as possible, and just kind of like instantly it's like, have a nice day, very much like trying to shoo you out of there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we will.
Just hear
We
her
will.
mumble under her breath, I don't get paid enough for this.
And I sort of, we walk it back to the car. And I've learned not to try to go back over it, because he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. I've already said what I needed to say in the moment, and so we're gonna go look for swords.
I'm getting
Okay.
PTSD.
And I think what I'm looking for is this sword, because I've heard about it, the one that they found, or the one that they were given rather. Because my research has I've uncovered reference to this sword in my research, and of course, as a professor of demonology, I've done my field work. Although the university does not pay me nearly enough, they don't give me nearly enough research funding to do the kind of field work that I really should be doing if I'm their only professor of demonology. But I've still got some kind of concept of corruption. I have enough sources in the community that I would know that Marius is around, and I would be looking for this sword. So we're gonna go sword shopping.
I'm just tagging along.
You're tagging along?
Yeah, just because of the dream thing, which I mumble about every so often. I'm just following along.
Did you tell me about the dream, or are you just or do I not know that you had this dream?
I think Arlo would have very nonchalantly told you about the dream and just not repeated it. Just so I had a weird dream and something calling to the demonic side of me, and it was cold and dark. Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. So, and I would have you would have been totally nonchalant about it. I would have twigged that and been okay, well, this is something. I wouldn't necessarily have identified it as okay, you're coming with me, but maybe we're going to try it out. But my research in part is my character is she's very into demons' rights. So she understands that there's lots of demons who are bad, but there's lots of demons who are not bad, just like humans. So, she's really into trying to create a world where demons have what they need in order to function in a way that works in society with humans as opposed to against humans. So this is what we're talking about when it comes to the benign feeding environment. So what we're trying to do,
very True Blood, integrating vampires into the society.
Yeah, kind of like True Blood. It's so they instead of this drink, it's this idea that for vampires that feed on fear, instead of trying to create fear, they can feed on ambient fear in places like hospitals or in places like amusement parks or places where there's fear created either by morally neutral things like disease or
they work in haunted houses.
Yeah, they totally work on it. Was that your summer job, Arlo?
Did you work at Halloween Horror Nights?
Definitely a part of every Scarowinds thing, and eventually be moving up to a horror movie stuntman. And he totally used his abilities as off and on set to help with that sort of thing. And eventually it's just I need more, but I don't know what that is yet. Anyways, I guess I'll do this eating study. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. And I'm really happy that you want to do this study because I trust that you genuinely, of all of the demons that I've met in my practice, I think you're probably one of the ones who genuinely wants to live in human society, and also doesn't want to cause huge trauma. Maybe. At least that's my assessment, but I could be wrong.
On the surface level, I just want to live my life. Underneath, I am still trying to figure that out because what if I lose control on that avenue?
Yeah. There you go. Well, I suppose we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, let's go to the antiquities store, or I guess it's a pawn shop really in this town, probably.
It's probably both.
It's probably both.
It is an antiques and oddities store, thank you very much, and it's right up above the Triple B's antique bookstore. It's run by one of our other amazing guests, and upstairs you find a very old lady who I can't remember her name because that was 8 episodes ago of some sort. But I remember she sounds like this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I like old lady bookstores.
Well, this back doesn't get around very much. I have a map. The map hasn't made an appearance in so many episodes. Don't mind me. Here's my map. There's a map. So this is the town center. There's Jake's Diner. Here's your antiques and oddity store. It lies above a let's go put that over there. It lies above a bookstore called Triple B's. You go, it's kind of like got those two doors where like one goes into the bottom and then one goes into like a staircase, goes straight up. And you start talking to her about swords, correct?
Yes.
And she looks at you and she goes, I don't know if I have any swords. I have a cane that has a sword in it, and she does it, and like she almost like nicks you a little bit, and she's like, but swords. And she kind of looks at both of you.
I need it for a stunt.
And she kind of looks at you and kind of is like, sure you do.
Okay, fine. I just want a cane sword.
Well,
you want this cane sword, Arlo? You want this cane sword?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with this cane sword?
We'll say
I'm gonna walk with it.
this cane sword it's an antique shop. I don't know how to price things. What do you think? Like $120 for a cane sword? That sounds great.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, $120 for a cane sword.
$120 for a cane sword.
Okay.
It's got a green shaft, like a deep dark green shaft, and it's got like a gold filament, and on the top it's carved with a little bit more gold inlay. And it's very beautiful. I'm literally just describing the cane sword from Sherlock Holmes with Jude Law, that Watson carried. And she says 120. You can tell that she probably does not actually know how much these things are, and are probably from mostly her personal collection, as she looks ancient.
Can I get any vibe that she's not human or anything?
No. She's human. She's just very old.
Gotcha.
See, if this was D&D, which is all I've ever really played, I would be like, can I make an insight check or an arcana check or a history check or some kind of check?
Can
on the sword?
I roll some kick some ass?
Can I investigate the sword?
You want to investigate it? Investigate a mystery? Sure.
How do I? Oh, is that a thing? Is that a thing in this?
100%.
Okay.
It's roll plus sharp.
Roll plus sharp.
Yes. So you should have 5 stats.
Yes. Okay. I have some.
And it's
stats.
investigate a mystery.
Yes, I do. I do have plus sharp. Okay. So.
Yep.
Hope so.
First roll of the night.
Cool. So what do I roll these?
You rolled 2d6.
Okay.
And
I tell you what I
whatever
got?
your sharp modifier is.
I don't think I chose it.
Oh,
What are the options for that? This is a learning channel. I'm learning. We're learning all together today.
You're totally fine. Look at the second page of your playbook. There should be a section on the left-hand side that says ratings.
Yes.
You pick one of those. And it should have all the numbers.
Oh, all of them are sharp plus 2.
Okay.
So sharp plus 2.
You just pick one, and it will tell you, and that's what your stats are.
I will choose one of those, but literally every single of these lines has sharp plus 2. So they're
Perfect.
all. So for sharp,
Because you are a smart investigator.
I'm a smart investigator. I am smart.
Double ones.
Not that smart. No, it's a 1 and a 2. So plus 2 is 5.
Okay, that is the failure.
Yup.
So on your sheet, there's a section that says experience. Go ahead and click one of those boxes. You try to suss out whether there's any type of underlying nefarious activity with this old lady who's selling this beautiful cane sword, but you're just so stricken by how sweet she is and the smell of what is obviously snickerdoodle cookies being cooked in the back that you're just like, I don't need to investigate this old lady. She's sweet. And that's it.
Cool. Well, all right. Arlo, you want the sword? Are you gonna get the sword?
Yeah.
You buy the sword?
Yeah.
You buy the sword?
Yeah.
The cane sword. Okay.
Yes.
You sure you don't have any other swords? Have you heard of any swords?
I was like, you're asking me. I was like, I was just really enjoying the back and forth. I forgot I had a job to do.
Oh no, that's okay.
And she'll look kind of both of you up and down. You're not from around here, are you?
We're not that far, but not that close.
I
I
feel like
certainly
you're looking
came
for
from out
something
here.
a little bit more not my alley. I think perhaps you should try the library.
That is something I can do. All right. Okay. There's swords at the library.
Perhaps.
I don't know about you, but I trust the old lady. Can I roll manipulate someone to see if I can get a discount on the sword?
Oh my god.
Of course,
Sure,
you're
go for
yeah.
it. I'm here for it.
Are you haggling with an old lady?
Yep.
Well, this is precisely the sort of place that one would haggle, I imagine.
I mean, he's a demon. It's fine.
So that's gonna be a 5.
A 5. So that is a failure. Go ahead and mark experience on your sheet as well. As she looks at you and goes, "You are a very, very handsome man. I normally would. No, I wouldn't. I have to pay rent. $120, please, for the cane sword."
Okay, fine. $120. I pay her. That's probably most of my money because I'm probably not great at finances.
That's
Well,
fine.
you worked at a haunted house and was a stunt man for a while, so you got like a little nest.
A
Enough for
little nest
snacks
egg.
and swords.
Unless you're just like blowing it all on like.
No, he's not that dumb. He's 0 sharp, not -1 sharp.
Got it.
All right.
Average. Don't mind me. Just
Every-
kicking a trash can.
Every jump scare, I grow stronger.
Arlo.
I
Okay.
didn't do it.
What are you gonna do with that sword?
I turn into an old man. So the thing is, and I did pull out the sword. I'm gonna spook somebody by being a kooky old, whatever, geriatric senior citizen. That's the plan with the cane sword. And then he turns back. Simple as that.
The old lady kind of gives you a grin of like, "Ha!" And like she
Oh,
too
I'm
yells
still
at the
in the room.
wolves in her yard,
Did not consider that. I have made a mistake and blown my cover already.
and she's like, "Aha!"
Just it's an experiment. It's an experiment. We're doing an experiment. We're trying to find out something. Just don't worry about him. He's not gonna hurt you. He's not gonna hurt you. You're not gonna hurt her, are you, Arlo?
No, I am just really good at special effects and makeup.
She is
He's very good at
not-
special effects and makeup.
She is not concerned at all.
Oh.
She's still smiling, and you see behind her she has a very well loaded shotgun.
Oh. I'm gonna.
Granny ain't gonna go down without a fight. She's fine. She's just like, she kind of just tops her nose and looks at you and she goes, "You could try."
I'm not gonna try anything. I
He's-
just made a mistake.
He's harmless. Just you know what? He's harmless. Just don't. Well, Arlo. You know what? Let's go to the library. Let's go to the library, and we'll do some more research. How's that?
He's already making to leave because me as a player and Arlo probably just forgot in that brief moment that she was still there.
She
I'm
does
very
that. She
good at-
probably fell asleep with her eyes open like right after you left.
Oh boy.
Amazing. All right, we get in the car. We go to the library. I just don't say much. I'm playing my Sarah McLachlan CD that I burned back. Yes,
It makes Arlo very uncomfortable.
This feels
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
sensationalist.
It bends. It bends.
Everybody's just having PTSD flashbacks of those fucking American Humane Society videos. It's just the puppies, sad puppies.
I was
I
thinking
see.
more her earlier stuff, but it could be that. It could be that one.
Will a cross burn me?
Is what? Will a cross burn you?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
I feel like
wondering
you're half human, so you would probably.
Okay, so good against most mundane iconography, but if it's like a blessed relic, I'm in danger probably.
I don't know. What happens if you get scared? That's the thing. Do you feed on your own fear?
No, I feel like if that would be the issue, I would be pretty good and not suffering from a near insane hunger for the essence of others in terror.
Right.
Otherwise,
Somebody
I
with
would just
chronic
watch scary
anxiety.
movies and I'd be kosher.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So
Auto-cannibalism.
we're heading to the library.
Mhm.
And it's so you said it's the fall, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Arlo,
Yes.
it's around midterms, so you're gonna get you'll get a bit of a snack at the library anyway.
Yep, sure will.
Sweet.
And but I don't want you to linger. We're gonna go down to the basement because I know it's there. But if you need more of a snack, then let me know and we can come back up after, and then you can stick around for a little while because this is an example of one of those benign feeding environments that we were going to try out. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like you're their sponsor, like you're working with.
Yeah, I feel like I'm an addict who could
Yeah.
sleep at any time.
You kind of are.
Which unfortunately I am because I have to roll to not feed on fear.
But it's okay to feed on fear. But it's like certain. You have to be like a fear vegan. A vegan.
He just walks into a bathroom.
Tofu fears?
He looks at her just
Tofu
dead
fear.
on.
Like
He looks at her
tempeh
dead on at that one. He just walks into a bathroom for a little bit, goes into a stall, changes into a child, and then walks back out.
Vegan.
Okay, you're a child now?
Pan, you have advantage.
Don't blow it. I'm gonna be a creepy kid. No one's gonna really be like, that's suspicious. A kid can stare for however long. I don't know. I'm explaining this to you. Trauma stuff.
You're not
I
real.
guess. Just don't be too creepy, okay? Trust me, kids can be very creepy.
You just hear very distantly.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna leave him there for a little bit to stare at people and freak people out like a little mini Chucky, and head down to the basement.
Okay.
But I'm not expecting anybody else to be there.
You're not expecting anybody else to be in the basement?
Down the spiral staircase necessarily, because
Okay.
as far as I know, that's sort of my own little secret area. I didn't know that. I don't know the other two, right?
No.
Right. So it'll be a surprise to me that somebody else is there.
Yes. So we'll say that you've definitely traversed through Silver Hollow before, having access to the library in the basement for some of your demonology needs.
Mm-hmm.
You would know probably Aminata. She has been there
Yeah.
for many a decade. She is quite old. And she is not fully human anymore.
Right.
But so you go downstairs and you hear kind of the chatter, and you definitely hear the words, sword mentioned a few times as you kind of found the corner and see Aminata standing there with two individuals, one very tall and slender with very long dark hair that drapes in front of their face, and the other quite short in person and in comparison, with short brown curly hair, petite frame, talking with Aminata, who is holding in her hand a glowing sword.
Can I see them without being seen? Because if so, then I want to keep listening without letting them know that I'm there.
Okay. You're probably catching the tail end of the conversation, where Aminata is talking about how this sword has been used by, essentially, in D&D terms, the champion of this goddess, that has been known throughout the centuries under different names. Celine, I had a whole list of them. They're somewhere. Throughout, Norse mythology, Egyptian mythology, all this lore, the moon has always been a constant, has changed names. And the moon is a higher patron of the Lycan that this pack are tied to and their blessing. And, kind of talks about how it's been kissed by the moon, so it's pure. And I swear the only reason I said a moon-kissed sword is because I was a Seal fan. I'm like, kissed by a rose. And I was like, fuck it, it's a moon-kissed sword. And she kind of trails off because she does notice you. Even if you're trying to remain hidden, she can smell you.
Right. But she knows me. Like she knows.
She does, but she also knows that somebody else has entered into the conversation. It's almost like trying to log into a chat room without nobody noticing. Such and such, just join the conversation.
Right. Hi.
Hi, Rosalind. What brings you into the library?
I think it's that. And I point at the sword. Where did you get that?
It took a lot of research to find it. Why would you be after this?
Well, I was looking for it to try to help. I mean, I'm glad somebody found it. I'm glad you have it because it means that you are going to be protected. I was hoping actually to find it to bring it to you. That it seems like you've got it. But how did you get it? Like how, where, what? Who are these people? Who are they? Who are they? Who are you? And I look at the two of them because like I'm a little confused because I figured that I would be the one to find this sword. It really doesn't have a lot of reference in the literature, so I'm not like upset. I just how did that happen? Who are you?
I got in the car. We listened to 3 burned CDs. We drove to a place. A ghost told us about another place. We went there, and then the ghost punched the barrier until it broke. And then I stepped into a cave and wrapped up the sword with the jacket, and I took it. And then I stabbed my ghost friend with it so that they could pass to the afterlife.
Pan
I'm
just
Rhys.
nods slowly. Pan.
Hi. Wow. Barrier.
It was pretty
describe
casual.
it.
Yeah.
That sounds quite casual. Explain this barrier. What kind of barrier was it?
Shiny.
I'm gonna look at Amanata and I'm sort of gonna. Are you surprised? Is this as?
I mean,
like just kind of like.
I can't say that I'm surprised. These two have been able to do more in the past few weeks than, any of us have done in the past couple of centuries, but that's because of the extenuating circumstances. I had some help. We have some other people here that have been assisting me in research, and Malkin, one of our best researchers, was able to find a whisper of a location, and we happened to have an ally that was able to gain access to this very sacred place, who had been touched by the moon in a way, and now we have it, and I'm glad we do, with everything that's been going on.
I mean, it's wonderful. It just means that, and Rosalind's kind of like, I think she had thought that it was going to be a very long process to try to find this thing, and so now it's here, and she doesn't quite know what to do. Like, she's just kind of like having to sort of reconfigure like what she thought the next 6 months of her life were going to be, and
I'm still not quite sure as to why you were needing this, Rosalind. You said that you're thankful for us, for our protection. What do you know that we don't?
Well, I don't know that I know anything that you don't. I know that there's been, I think you probably, if you've been looking for this, you probably know the same thing that I do, which is the demon that's
Marius.
corrupt. Yeah. Yes. How do you know? How do you know about him?
I met him.
You met him? Where?
I don't know, in a vision or something. Everyone's been talking about him a lot.
I
Also
chatted.
met him physically.
Yeah, it's like I chatted with him up on the hill.
I think by
Oh
this
shoot,
point,
you didn't. Reese, you didn't meet him. 'cause
Reese
you were
didn't.
gone.
I did. Pan
That's
then.
right. Yep.
Reese thought she did because Pan did.
Yeah.
Right. It was all a fever dream.
I think by this point, Arlo makes his return in the form of like a dog. I think like a Labrador or something, sniffing after Rosalind.
Okay.
Just like because I don't think she told him where she was going, so he's just like sniffing around to eventually like meet up with her. And with these new people, he just sits there next to her because he doesn't have any plan to shift back after he finds her.
Perfect. 100%.
Can I smell him?
A Labrador. What does the Labrador look like? Does it look? Or does it have some features of you in it, or is it just a standard Labrador?
Yeah, it's a black Labrador with a white splotch across its face.
Perfect.
Aw.
Can I
Alright.
like smell? Because I'm around a lot of dogs. I'm a dog walker.
I am
I feel
99%
like
sure I smell like 100% dog.
You've literally got a werewolf that's a dog walker.
yeah, you do. You have a werewolf that is legit a dog walker.
Wow.
Let's
Of
see.
all
Can I
the
investigate a
things.
mystery?
Yeah, roll a sharp to
What
see if
mystery
that's something that you
today?
can pick up on.
Oh god, I rolled it in my dice tower and they just all fell out onto the floor. Good. Oh wow, okay, so that's a 12 plus 0.
Okay,
I crit.
perfect. You see this dog, and you're like, that doesn't smell like Jazzy. And you get the sense that this is not 100% dog, and you smell the hints of you smell the hints of that kind of corruption that you've smelled before.
So Reese is just like lurking there, her 7-foot tall Asian slender man self,
The space station.
and like behind, so she's got like this curtain of hair that just falls over her face, and like from behind the curtain you see ever so slightly like a werewolf snout start to elongate, and she like leans in closer and she's like, your dog doesn't smell like a dog. Is there something we need to know?
It's not my dog. He's his
Not
own.
your dog.
He's his own dog. Aren't you,
Oh,
Arlo?
dog.
You're your own dog, aren't you, Arlo?
Arlo, I think we need to see your true form.
Independent doggy don't need no man.
Okay, before Arlo, give it a minute. Before you do that, please don't be afraid. Really don't be afraid. But also don't be afraid because he's not a problem. He's my student.
This is
I'm
Pan,
in
who
high
was so
school.
chill around the other demon, like, hey, buddy.
Absolutely, I'll trust 100% of what's coming out of your mouth.
Pan is sort of like watching from the side, like letting Reese do all the sniffing as it is. But it sort of stood just behind Reese in case, but
It's harmless. Don't
very
worry.
aware.
He's harmless. I promise. He's not gonna hurt you.
I turn into a penguin. This is my true form.
Oh my god, stop.
I'm gonna like,
Starts moving towards him. I want
I'm
to
gonna lash it. Okay, Pan puts a box over him while I have like my werewolf like
we got a
hand
shape
grown.
changer. Like-
This is who I am.
My ultimate form.
I'm sorry to break the news to you, and it's just coming out of a penguin.
Is that what a penguin sounds like?
Utter chaos.
It
I'm
sounds
sorry,
like
direct the news to you. Wah, 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 wah.
it either sounds like hello or hello.
Both are uncomfortable.
So
Coming from a
I think
penguin.
any type of human voice coming out of a penguin is very uncomfortable.
Yeah, if it's talking in a human voice, Pan is probably going to move forward and just look down at this penguin like,
Hey, this is who I am.
do we want to do true forms?
Are we all doing true forms now? I mean, we
You
can.
don't have a true form.
Pan smiles. But we'll just stay and watch this penguin
Yeah, on
in a
3,
library.
we'll shift it to our true forms.
Okay. 1, 2.
2, 3. And I think he does transform partially into Arlo's human form, but he does have like a little bit of like demonicness coming on. It's like, okay, gotta put that back.
I feel like
Pan does this as she watches him get taller because she's very short.
Very short.
Reese was waiting for the countdown of the true forms, and at the end of the countdown, her hand shifts into a werewolf paw and will just like bat Arlo in the face wherever he is at.
What? I didn't know we were doing hits.
Don't do it. Don't do that. He's harmless. I promise. I told you.
I know.
He's not harmless.
You
He's not
knocked
gonna
my
hurt
eye
anybody.
out of my socket. And he's got his eye dangling out.
He said true form.
It's,
Oh,
My true form.
It's as close as this is close as true form as I can get without being horribly spooky.
yeah, Arlo, what
Yeah.
did we talk about in class?
There's a lot of
What did we talk?
classes.
Yes, there were a lot of classes.
many
What did we
classes.
talk about in class? You have to reassure people. You have to reassure people instead of just like doing whatever you want. You have to understand the social context of an interaction and adapt your responses to that social context. Basic psychology.
That sounds really
Okay?
like a lot of effort.
That is a lot of effort, but that's why Arlo, that's why he went to school. It's really important.
It was an institute rather than anything else, and you guys are some kind of lichen thing. I'm a fear demon thing.
Yes.
Just from my
Then we're
basic
all-
understanding.
And we all, I think, and then I'm going to look at Aminata, I'm going to say, we all, I think, have the same goal right now, which is...
Seeing Rhys, though, he does slowly start to grow a little bit taller to match their height. Just very slowly at the corner of his eye.
I feel like they are literally like this right now as like lurky, tall, gangly thing, and it's just like their both heads are just like.
Oh yeah, he does have a hunch.
Man,
Aminata will say, perhaps we should sit down and discuss why we're all here. And on that
Yeah.
note, I think we're going to take a break.
While we sit down and discuss why we're all here.
We're going to take a bio, kiss your puppies, drink some water. They
So close every week.
So close. We're getting
So
there.
close.
And we'll be back in however much time Scrat puts up on the thing.
oh man, we just
See you
got
in a
a
minute.
reading party.
Hello, Raiders. We're just
Oh,
going to
Raiders,
a break.
stay
We will be
around.
back
We just
in
have to
5
pee.
minutes. See you in a minute.
Go
Bye.
away.
Bye.
Welcome on in, Raiders. Thank you so much for those subs. I appreciate you. It's great to see you all. Hey, I've got a little advert that I can play for you during this break. It's from our sponsor, The Deck of Many. Have you seen their Kickstarter? Have you seen the new things that they're releasing? It looks phenomenal. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Oh my goodness, we have a hype train. There is a hype train in chat. For the hype train, y'all, you can affect the game. Aris, Avad, it's so good to see you. Gabe as well, I see you. Unmade, I see you all. Okay, so at level 1, if we get to level 1 in another 6%, we will be gifting... Oh, there it is! All the players will get 2 advantages. If we hit level 2, at level 2... all of the the DM will get 8 disadvantages to use against the players. Okay, 8 disadvantages to use against the players. If we hit level 3, each player will get 2 nat 20s. 2 nat 20s to use at their leisure. Oh my goodness! Lily42, thank you so much for those 5 subs. We have just smashed level 2. That's 8 disadvantages. 8 disadvantages for the DM. Now, if we hit level 4, then we will gift we will get then adrenaline is pumping. Up! Up! If we hit level 4, then we will draw a deck of many card for everyone around the screen. Okay? Everyone at the table, except for the DM, will draw from the deck of many, and that card will affect play. Now, we are playing Monsters of the Week and not D&D, so there is some liberty there that the DM can take to make the cards make sense. There we go. Did we hit it? Yeah, we hit it. Level 3. That's 2 advantages for all the players. Now, if we hit level 5, then all of those rewards will be gifted simultaneously. I have an advert to play in this break for you. This is from our sponsor, the Deck of Many. Keep that hype train rolling through the advert. Be warned, this advert starts off loud. It starts off loud. See you in a sec.
Oh no, Jimmy! Heckna's after us! What are we gonna do? Sword beats face! Ha! Looks like you really lost your edge, huh? Huh? God, I'm funny. So, I guess weapons don't... Weapons don't work! Hey, why aren't you laughing? Oh, I know! Let me hit you with the punchline! Wait! My animated spell cards! They can save us! Well, jeepers, Jane. Blast them! Avada Kedavra! Right in the funny bone. Bleh. I really don't like that guy. We did it! Yeah!
Defeat your greatest foes with the most powerful spells. Animated spells are back, with level 6 to 9. Each spell card features 8 frames of looping animation that makes the spell come to life, and contains all the spell details on the back. And for the first time, you can divine with a fully animated tarot card deck. Will you read Fortune or Folly?
Jane! Heckna's reforming! Not on my watch! Meteor swarm!
Go to animatedspells.com and back the Kickstarter today.
Staff and keeping that hype train rolling. We are at 10% of level 4. Remember, if we hit level 4, we will be gifting Deck of Many draws to everyone around the table. Everyone around the table will be drawing from the Deck of Many. So prepare for that, friends. Prepare for that. At the moment, everyone gets 2 nat 20s. If we hit level 4, we do the Deck of Many. If we hit level 5, all of these rewards are get donated at once. Everyone draws from the Deck of Many. All the players get 2 nat 20s. The DM gets 8 disadvantages, and everyone gets 2 advantages. Otherwise, just one thing happens. See, Alice is having some troubles with her laptop as well. We have put ice under all of the fans, so that hopefully they are drawing cold air. We are coming to the end of this hype train, everyone. Thank you so much for all of your support. I appreciate you a whole bunch. Your support means a load. 10 seconds left. Last minute donations now. Looks like we're going to roll in at level 3. Looks like everyone's going to get 2 nat 20s. Your support means the world to me and Alice. It really, really does. Thank you so, so much. Thank you.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. I never know whether it's going to be me or Alice, and so it's always like, I hope you patted your pets and took a bio and drank some water. All the good things. Thank you for your patience and for chilling out. Last we left off, our two guests, our demon and our expert, finally met our two werewolves and talking about the swords, and we were going to have a sit down and discuss why we're all here. Take it away, kids.
So, I'm a demon, and I'm still trying to figure that out because Mom's in and out of the picture. Dad's trying his best, but like he doesn't know how to really accommodate what I am and what I can do and dietary restrictions. And so, come along with this gal over here because she's on an errand for a sword that kills demons. I am a demon, so there's a bit of a connection there. And also, I'm not sure if I can die fully. I'm not sure, I haven't gotten that far. But also, real nice meeting other supernatural folks. And I could show my true form, but I'm not entirely sure myself what that looks like.
So why do you want the sword?
I'm still trying to piece that together myself.
Okay.
Do we? We don't stab you with the sword.
Oh, no, don't stab him. No, he's gonna help. He's
stab
helping.
the other guy with the sword.
Stab the demon who's causing the problems. Arlo's not causing any problems.
I haven't thought about causing problems in the last 15 minutes.
That's awesome. Well done. Good job.
Pan's must
That's
stop
progress.
making tea. Like, she probably has a flask at least of just hot water that she's pouring.
So-
works for everyone.
So
if you're
are
a demon,
Yeah.
can you sense other demons?
Sometimes, yeah. Like I keep getting dreams of this one thing or another, kind of like a vision or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I could try actually sense them out in the wild. I haven't had a need to, aside from my mom.
What makes one a demon?
He just like stops and has like cross his arm. I gotta think about that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you talking about like physiologically, like ethically, morally? Because ethically and morally, there's far greater there's far greater differences within the population of demons than between the demon population and human population, just as there's huge differences in morals and ethics within the human population as well.
I'm pretty sure Rhys was talking about physically what would make you a demon.
Right, because sometimes people get those confused, and then they start talking about all demons this and all demons that, and we don't like that kind of talk. Physiologically, I mean, there are
the horns.
there's that's one.
Is it the shape shifting?
That's another thing that, if we're talking about phenotypes of demons versus humans, there are things that demons have that humans just aren't physically capable of doing, but not every demon has horns. Not every demon can shapeshift. We want to make sure that we're not grouping all demons into the same phenotype. But certainly there are specific physiological differences between humans and demons, and those physiological differences extend into what we might call sort of the astral area of existence.
Are you a demon psychologist?
I am supposed to be a demonologist. They moved me into the Department of Psychology because apparently that's where the funding was, but the funding doesn't seem to have materialized. So yes,
not
in
a lot
terms
of money
of
in demons.
not a lot of money in demons. No, people don't like to spend money on. They like to spend money on getting rid of demons. They don't like spending money on helping demons. It's a really big problem.
Which is why I'm kind of in between good and bad on multiple scales. Also, just trying to find my place in the world as a fear demon. You know how it is.
You know what, Arlo? That's everybody. Everybody is between good and bad. Everybody is trying to find their place in the world. That's not because you're a demon. That's because you are a sentient being.
Pan, I feel like you have something to say.
No, Pan is just sliding tea across the table to individuals as they're talking because she doesn't really know what to say, because Pan is a doctor, so she's used to watching people and seeing how they do things, and she then produces a small plastic carton which has a milkshake in, which she pushes across to Rhys as she moves around, and she looks at all of them and is like, again, the sword.
Right. So the sword is meant to be used against the person that we are trying to kill.
It's a very powerful weapon, indeed, that could be very beneficial.
Yes.
It's hard to know. We haven't gone up against anything of the corruption in well over a century as to how things happened last time. Yes, long story short, yes. We have hopes that this will help.
Yes, I think it will. And so when do we leave?
I mean, it depends. I don't really know what our next play is. I'm having a difficulty pinning down where Marius is. Obviously, he's trying to keep his location a secret. I feel like the question still hasn't been answered as to why you all felt that you needed to come here to seek out.
Well, there was a woman who suggested we go to the library. I like going to the library. Arlo, what were you going to say?
Oh no, just the vision thing.
Yeah, why don't you describe the vision to everybody? Because Rhys said that they had a vision too. Maybe it was sort of similar visions. Let's compare visions.
I didn't actually have a vision. I just kind of a little bit lived vicariously through Pan. Also, I've seen like a bunch of corrupted monsters over the past few weeks. But yeah.
Well, that's
Pan's
fun.
had visions. Pan's the more important one.
Pan? The vision. What was this vision?
And she sort of. Do you mean the meeting with the actual demon itself, or?
Yeah, I
which
mean,
vision are we talking about? Sorry.
Well, is there? I mean, Rhys said that you had visions. Was it a real meeting in this world? Was it a?
Oh, I met the demon in. She just points out the window towards like up the street. It's like, yeah, no, met him. Very chatty. Hideously charming, I think is the way most people put it.
Yeah, they'll be that way sometimes.
And she sort of looks over. I was like, no offense.
No, that's fine. I have a certain set of skills.
Everyone, each to their own. This one I didn't like, so.
How do you feel about me?
You're fine.
He tried to steal my milkshake. He tried to steal my milkshake.
Like the death glare goes across the table.
He's just hungry. You know what? He's a growing boy. Leave him alone.
Manners.
Don't you have Arlo? Don't you have a giant bag of Reese's?
Yeah, but I didn't snack. I had like 2.
Those are my pieces.
So you can but you can eat a few now if you want. Just eat them now. I don't want you going after anybody's milkshake. This is so you Ben, you met this demon. So what did he say? Where did he go? What?
Oh no, we helped him up to the top of the hill, and then we had a whole problem about raising his son, and then there was the corruption over the land, and all that. As she starts listing off like how the corruption took place and how Purell didn't work, and
right.
Yep.
And then where did he go?
Gone. No idea. That's why we're trying to find him.
Oh, my mom used to do that all the time.
And where did your mom? Well, you know what? I'm not at it's. So Rosalind realizes after she like sort of accidentally asks, where did your mom go when she does that? That maybe it's a sensitive topic for Arlo. So
if I knew, I'd have a better time to figure out what this is all.
Right. So there are a couple of different places where demons sometimes go. What did it look like when he disappeared?
Kaya, wasn't he just sort of...
He kind of just phased out. Kind of like he passed through...
like a veil.
A shimmering veil, yeah.
Yeah.
So he stepped out of this plane.
Right. Shimmering barrier. Rhys, where was this shiny barrier that you talked about breaking?
In Arizona.
In Arizona.
Yes.
Right, but no, I'm not talking about sort of geographically, because geography in this world is a little bit different than geography in other places. But no, I'm talking about like what was around you. Do you remember? Like, was it mountains? Was it trees? Were there rocks?
Mountains. It was a ritual site. My ghost friend went there to scare people.
Scare people? Why did they go there to scare people?
Because they were kind of a dick, but I liked them.
Okay, we've all been there.
Right there now.
There were moonstones. It was a former moon temple.
Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. I know where we need to go, I think.
Arizona.
No. Oh. There's one of those much closer to here.
Arizona's much closer to here?
No. There's a moon temple much closer to here.
Oh, I didn't even know that, and I'm like a moon person.
That's true. Well, it doesn't really
Interesting.
look like one. You could. It's about 3 hours from here.
Oh, okay.
It's my old ski cabin used to be near there.
So we think that Marius is going to be at a moon temple?
No, I don't think so at all. But I think that that's where we can break the barrier to get to him.
We want to break the barrier, and
Yes.
is Pan going to be safe? Because that's kind of my thing, is like Pan has to be safe.
Pan's currently pouring more tea. Probably not heard that bit. And it's just like,
So here's the thing. No, I can't guarantee. I can't. This is not a easy or particularly safe line of work. We can do things to keep Pan safer. But it's totally up to you as to whether or not you come along with. And I kind of look at Emanata and I said, you know where I'm talking about, right? The really old temple? The really, really old one?
So she thinks back. Sorry, I'm being distracted right now.
It's okay.
So you were saying that there was an old temple that you could go to that the veil was thin. Recap for me.
Yeah, it's the moon temple near where I used to have a ski cabin because we're in Colorado. So it doesn't look like a temple. It's like a bunch of standing stones because it's really old. It's like as old as consciousness.
From what Rhys had described to me with what happened with them trying to get through, the veil is tricky. It's not just one entrance, it's not just one door. The amount of entrances into planes are infinite, as there are infinite amount of planes.
Yeah.
Each one not being able to cross over with the other. Some are protected against the other. While I assume Marius is using his own form of kind of phasing into his own plane of existence and using that to travel around. We could, if you want to, we could potentially try to pierce the veil where the moon goddess is, to see if there could be any more assistance that she could give us. But as for where Marius might be, that is absolutely a possibility, especially since he is very much wanting to corrupt what is around him. And whatever we can do against him, I think he probably hopes that is something that could possibly happen. Arlo, you had said something about a vision. What was this vision?
Oh, that's me. Sorry. I was zoning out. I was thinking about magic.
Me too.
Like the card game or the real thing?
Wait, there's a game?
Oh, don't even worry about it. Somebody made it into a game. They shouldn't have. It's much too serious, but yes.
Yeah, I remembered it was cold snow beneath my feet and like something calling me in, and it was somewhere nearby for whatever reason. Sorry, I'm still just thinking about magic. I just keep remembering I could do that.
You can do that. And you will probably do that more. But okay, so cold, and near.
Yeah, there's
Mountains.
smoke in the incest.
There's always smoke around me.
Okay.
Puff pass.
Was that
Incense.
Okay, so incense,
What?
cold.
Do I remember what the language was, or was it just generic demon tongue?
I would say that. I wouldn't say that it's like generic demon tongue. It was definitely an abyssal tongue of sorts. I wouldn't say generic like.
Oh.
But
Not all demons speak infernal or abyssal. Thank you.
Right. you recognized it, and it's not so much. It's almost like, I wouldn't say demons have like a TARDIS translator where they can just understands stuff that are on their energy level. But that's almost what it felt like, where it was words that you had not heard before, but they were ones that you understood. And our own version, of Infernal Abyssal, essentially just taking a language and bastardizing it.
Gotcha.
So it's like a Creole?
Like a
Creole?
Yeah, it's like Creole. It's like Creole demon.
Like a Creole, like demon common Creole.
Yeah, because
well, I tell you, when you come on down to the bayous of hell.
Buy my sword.
Not like Louisiana Creole, like the term, like the linguistic term Creole as like a language that is specifically constructed in that way.
We call the opening of this gate O'Shea.
I don't know. I like the bayou demon who's also selling swords.
Oh God.
The bayou demon who's selling swords. Amazing.
You recall the smell of incense and rotting wood. It was cold. It feels and you start like kind of retelling it, and Amanata kind of gets this look on her face as you're describing kind of the sounds of what's going on and the things that you saw, and she kind of walking around and goes and she pulls out what is familiar to Pan and Rhys, but what is new to Rosalind and Arlo, and it's this tome that is covered in a black leather, that the leather itself at first glance looks like regular leather, stationary, but as you continue to look at it, it's almost kind of shifts, as if like a slow moving ooze, just as if it's living and breathing and squirming. And you notice that Amanata doesn't touch it with her bare hands. She kind of has a piece of fabric that she uses that's very thick leather that she uses to not touch it, and she kind of puts it down. She's flipping through, and she's like, okay. And she's like, okay, incense, and she's trying to recount with you and pull more information out as she's flipping through more. And she's like, that would make sense. She's like, it sounds like they're called the impious. It's kind of generic in their term because that's literally what they are. They were priests at one point, and they were corrupt and seduced with the promise of wealth and power, and in doing so they became these very warped portions of themselves. When they shifted their gaze from a deity to an entity of corruption, they're very old, they're immortal, though they don't look as if time hasn't touched them. They're essentially just servants. And she goes, hold on, and she like runs, and she's like, you can see the wheels starting to like spin in her head as she's like scanning through all these books, and she like pulls out one, flips a few pages, and puts it back, and runs to another one. Ooh.
I take some of Arlo's candy while everyone is distracted by Amanata running around.
Hey, you can have some, not all. God.
These are my pieces.
No, I bought these. These are mine.
Just
You can have
Reese's
some.
Pieces.
Oh, where did my Reese's go?
Reese's Pieces.
All I can think of is Rhys is what is it, that one comedian? He's like, it's Rhys apostrophe S. Means it belonged to him.
Oh
my
gosh.
I can't believe
Mitch
both me
Hedberg.
and Arlo actually were bamboozled by that one. But Arlo does wander over to the weird book, and he asks, what's the deal with this thing?
Do you
Like
touch
the
it?
diary of all evil people?
I feel like his hand would be trailing towards it, like, what is
You
this?
probably, this is actually, I didn't even think about it, but now that you're talking about it, because y'all are much smarter than I am, Yes, Arlo would be very drawn to this. This is a tome that calls to him. This tome
your mom in there?
is
Is your mom in there? Did you just ask?
That feels like a Yo Mama joke. Yo Mama would definitely be in the book of
Is your
evil.
mom in that tome of evil?
your girlfriend looks like my mom.
Your mom is so thick, she's like a book. That's
And it's Yo Mama so thick she like the Encyclopedia Britannica.
The
Your mama's so
Encyclopedia
crazy.
Demonatica.
She got a tome of evil dedicated just to her. I wouldn't say that your mother is in this tome. Your mom is not a big player, as they would say.
Oh, that hurts.
This is very much the Hall of Fame of top MVP work for the Corruptors.
MVD.
Valuable
You
demons.
feel called to it, and you all see his hand kind of slowly trailing towards this tome. And have you ever seen that kind of goo that they put magnetic powder in, that when you put like a powerful magnet, the goo kind of like reaches for it?
Yeah.
You start to see the leather on this tome start to reach for you.
Oh.
Arlo, don't do it.
Do it.
He's not even reaching towards it in like a disrespectful, like, oh, you told me to, I'm going to anyway. He's still just slowly reaching toward, like.
All right, I'm gonna grab his hand. I'm gonna grab his hand and say, no, don't do. What did we talk about?
Rosalind, maybe he should. Maybe there's a reason. If we trust him to be a good demon, then we have to trust him to touch the tome of evil and continue to be a good demon. Arlo, do it while I'm not looking. Pan's not looking either.
I'm not worried about him. I trust him. I'm worried about his safety. Okay.
For poops and ha-has, because I want to see how this goes.
He does stretch his hand to touch it. Like, even if she does grab it, he extends himself to touch
Arlo,
it.
I want you to roll a cool roll. I want to see if you can pull yourself out of the calling of this tome.
Ooh,
Touching the tome of evil is obviously the cool thing to do.
Yeah. Also, I saw something about 2 natural 20s earlier, chat. What was that?
Everybody has automatic successes. You can choose to use an automatic success, or you can roll to see what happens.
I don't trust myself, so may I use one of those? I really.
Absolutely. So so you're wanting to use one of the automatic natural 20s?
Yeah, because I've just rolled my dice to see, and I have a -1 to cool, so it would have been 8 if I didn't.
Well, that's still technically a success. So you feeling pulled towards this tome, and
I guess could I go with the 8 then? I think he'd fuck up partially.
You're fine. Either
Okay.
Yeah, you can go with either. But you almost the world starts to go into a fuzz, and you don't hear anything outside of this tome almost calling you, as you hear the whispers of not just one being but hundreds, as they call from this tome, of stories of how they rose and how they left their physical and mental mark on this plane, and breaking through almost as if hearing a voice underwater. You hear your friend Rosalind saying, don't touch it, don't give in to that. And that friendship, that bond that you both had forged, and that trust that you had, causes your hand to start to recoil, and you can see the tome almost trying to reach out in its last ditch effort to try and get its hands on you, as it retreats back into the tome.
I feel like Rhys is like right here, like, ooh.
I feel like with that whole thing, he's slowly started to like shift more into his like true demonic state. So just kind of like the human part of him tries to retract away. Like, he doesn't have lips, just these fangs, like horns, and like as she pulls back, he like slowly turns back human. Is like, all right. So there's definitely information in there, but also the voices, screams, damns, and the laments of the damned. So that's fun.
Yeah. And in that moment, when you start to revert back to your human form, you hear in your mind again, like you heard in the vision, that call to arms, that call to join forces, and it muffles slowly into into the ether as your human form takes.
Ooh, I love having a collect call of evil in the back of my skull.
Hey, you were the one that wanted to play a demon. This is what you get.
I realize that, but then I'm very slowly realizing, oh, this is an army of demons, and I'm a demon. Shit.
Damn.
But yeah, he would relay, yeah, it's like an all-call attendance sheet for a lot of dudes in there. I don't know if that's new.
Or something.
I don't know if that's new to y'all, but it's bad news bears.
That is very bad news. That's not good. That's
also hand still trailing back to the book again.
Don't do it. They don't have your best interests in mind.
I could get answers, and that's important right now.
You could get you'd get answers, and that's all you'd get.
Sometimes it feels like that.
Do you want to be part of that book? Would you like to be in that book instead of out here?
Is your mom in that book? Is that why you want to be in that book?
No, but if she was, I'd have another reason to. I don't. You guys have a whole thing here of like all y'all. I just have Rosie here, and that's the best.
Hey.
That wasn't an insult.
I mean,
That's
I've
all right.
never met anyone as tall and gangly as me, so you have me also. We both look hunched when we stand, and that is a similarity. And Google told me that friendships are based on similarities. So
I think up until the Google part, Arlo really looks touched, and like he like really quickly wipes away a tear in his eye at the Google bit.
Wait, what?
Thanks.
Like Pan is sipping tea at the side, watching all of this. Is like, you know, and she seems to have produced a snack from somewhere. Is like,
Where? Jesus.
you know, I kind of like the demon you are now, whereas those are a bit. I mean, everyone has their own opinion, but
Those demons are, you know.
Those ones are those are bad. They're bad. They're not bad because they're demons. They're bad because they're bad.
They
they're the
basic.
ones like you literally read
They're
about.
basic. They're actually no. They're
Are they? You know.
they're bad. But Arlo, you can stay out of that and still have us. I mean, not just me. There's all these other people here, and you can help us. And the more you help us, the fewer big books o demons there will be, and the more that people like you will be able to integrate into wider society, and you won't have to feel so alone.
we can make you your own demon book.
Yes, the demon book of just one demon, and it's you, and it's good.
Pan's
Is it like the Half-Blood Prince, but it's for demons?
And Pan's like, speaking as your elder as well, I feel like you're almost on like the right path rather than it's so cliche. All these demons going off and doing all this awful stuff and trying to ruin the world again. Like, do something different. What do you want to grow up and be? Like,
What are your dreams, goals, and aspirations?
what do you want to be when you grow up? But
What color is your parachute?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Rhys is just really excited to not be the center of, attention and advice and being the baby.
And I will say that Pan does look about maybe 28, 29, but she sounds older.
She sounds very old. She keeps using words that you haven't heard since the early 1900s.
How old is Rhys then?
Young.
Rhys is 17.
Oh God, that's so funny.
I'm still in high school.
Yeah, I was thinking of making Arlo like 18 and really being.
Yeah, you'd be like a frosh. You would not have it. You would not have a job as anybody's lab assistant.
You would
let me tell
have
you.
a PA job bringing people coffee.
Would work at a haunted house.
That's
That one's
true.
still
Work at a
accurate.
haunted house. That's
true.
100%.
But that's the thing, as a shapeshifter, I could just look older.
Sure.
Problem solved.
It's true.
Maybe
So
you
as
are.
you
The
all are
resume is
discussing-
shit though.
But yeah, you see Arlo finally relaxes and he reveals he's been like 19 the entire time.
As you all are discussing whether to touch this tome, whether not to touch this tome, where do you see in your demon, career 10 years from now, who will write your story, all very Hamilton-esque. Amanada comes back with like very Hermione-like, where she's like, I forgot I checked this out years ago, and slams down this old dusty book and starts flipping through it. And she goes, I think, she's like, you're saying, you know, call to arms, you're saying, you know, we're now knowing that the impious are getting involved. She's like, I think they are trying to bring more corrupt into this plane to unleash a lot of shit.
Man, this sounds like literally every cultist plot line ever. My God.
I know. It's like, it's, you know, sometimes classic is best.
I nudge Arlo and I'm like,
at heart, leave me alone.
I nudge Arlo and I'm like, this happens every week. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Listen,
fuck.
you didn't fight anything this week, did you?
There's
we
a
went to
reason
Target
why.
and we ate Reese's Pieces.
Oh, wait, if we hadn't got a Target, could we have fought a demon?
You'll never know.
The demon of capitalism.
Yeah, maybe we did fight the demon of capitalism.
No, we contributed.
You
We
sacrificed.
did. We did. We sacrificed
promoted
to
Target.
Mammon, the demon of capitalism,
Oh
and
God.
I'm sweating, y'all. You're
also, did you say Reese's Pieces?
Yeah, she did.
me?
Yes,
I think you said Reese's Pieces.
Listen,
Because that's amazing.
What is today?
It's a
Anywho.
snack pan made for Rhys. Like, she has
don't
never
shame
heard
the
of Reese's.
DM. They control your roles.
Oh.
I am the alpha here. Let me say my Reese's Piece says the.
Says Pieces or Reese's Pieces. It's
My
like
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. It's
Sounds too
amazing.
close to Reese's Pieces that I'm just like, we gotta stop. So anyways, or drop. Amanada slams the book down, starts flipping through. She says, I think they're trying to open a rift. And what do we know so far about what they've been doing? They've taken sacred places and they've corrupted them to bring about horrible shit.
Like capitalism.
Like capitalism. You know, Target's my bitch though. Or I'm Target's bitch. It is what it is. And she starts talking about different areas that they could be trying to do this. And one of the ones that she flips to sounds kind of like brings a flash to you, Arlo, where she starts talking about this old mining town where it was a hotspot for greed and that hunger for wealth during the gold rush 200 years ago. Capitalism. It's like I'm trying to turn a mirror on like what the world is.
Ancient demon of old.
Yeah. And like as she's talking, you kind of just go there. And she starts talking about the mining town and how it, in the heart of it, has an old church that when the gold rush was at its peak, of course everybody is trying to bring in some kind of faith, and this church was the home of one of the first impious, one of the ones who built the church in this hub in hopes of bringing in tithe. And she is like, this, I think I know where we need to go next. This is what they're gonna try and bring more over.
Oh, sweet. Wait, nope. That's bad.
And she kind of gives you a
That's
side glance
bad.
of going, are you at war with yourself right now?
Honestly, yes.
At least you're honest about it. That's good. That's good. That's what we talked about. The more we
think
talk through,
We're not in therapy right now. This is cool occult things. This is not my mental well-being. This is the world's well-being.
It can be both.
Well, if you're
trust me.
part of the world's well-being, because if you're at war with yourself, you have to understand that so that you don't accidentally bring down hell on all of us.
Well, it's not gonna be. Why is it me? Also, okay, the more I play him, the more he doesn't seem 25. The more he does seem fucking 18 or something.
Yeah,
He's a little
He's
snot-nosed teenager.
pretty 18.
Sorry, he shifts down a little younger. Sorry, I have been lying for a while.
And then he shifts down to 13 and his voice squeaks every once in a while.
Aw.
I'm kidding.
Is that an okay retcon that he's been 18 this entire time or something? Because I'm playing him too animated.
Well, Amanada would look at you and go, I'm happy. I'm actually pretty thankful that you both came here first instead of trying to find this place, because Arlo, as impressed as I am of you being able to fight off that demon side of you, if you had gotten anywhere near this, I don't think you would have been able to say no.
I don't say no to a lot of things.
Okay, that is more information than I'm pretty sure I wanted to know. I think
Oh, I meant like pranks and stuff. What were you thinking?
drugs? I don't know.
No.
Oh, he always says no to drugs. We've talked about that.
Good. Say no to drugs. Stay
No
in school,
restrictions.
kids.
But I do sneak a beer every once in a while.
Stick a beer.
Oh.
Beer for 12-year-olds. I've been watching a lot of Critical Role, and that was something in the other day. Don't mind me. So she kind of looks at you, Rhys and Pan, at you both, and goes, we definitely need to prepare. We'll definitely need allies of our own that hopefully aren't compromised. And she'll look over at Arlo and she goes, like, no offense, it's kind of like sending an alcoholic into a bar. I don't know how that would work out.
I'm not like any just like a whole body horror thing. I'm not tearing myself apart at the seams. I'm a bit
That's
better than that.
gross. Please don't get blood on the books.
I
And
don't.
she'll kind of look at you all and go, we definitely need to prepare. And I think that's
More
where
than
we're
the
gonna
sword
end
and the
tonight's
stone?
session. I think we're gonna end it there. I think we made it. We'll go
Stop by
around.
from Target, gave you some info, and then we out.
Yeah, hey man, you found out about a sword. I'm sure we can talk about what you think Rosalind and Arlo would do to try and prepare Rhys and Pam before they leave. We have a little bit of time left.
Yeah. I mean,
Great job, Kaya. You did it.
I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna write it. We're just gonna write it. I literally looked at this and was like, I can have another week to prepare. That's fine. It's just gonna be worse for you
Yeah.
next week. It's fine.
This is the content we're here for.
So we could have gotten to Demon Town today.
You very well could have.
Ah, damn.
That was
Target.
my plan, because I never want my guests to feel like they're not doing anything. But y'all were so content with RP. I'm like,
it's way
we
more
only
fun
did this
than
today,
like,
so fuck it, let's do it.
yeah. Well, I personally like RP more than like, here, roll to hit. Did you hit it? Yes. Yes, you did. Look, you hit it with this thing and stab. Oh, great. It's
I feel
Well, Monster of the
seen,
Week RP.
Jess, as your
Monster of the
DM.
Week- yeah, Monster of the Week
yeah.
fucking battles are a little bit more crazy than regular D&D, because there's not like, oh, does this hit your AC? It's like, oh, you did damage. Guess what? You get damage too.
Mm.
Oh, shit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Monster of
It's
the
a
Week
lot of fun.
combat is like much more like, hey, everyone has
RP
about
based.
this much health, and that never changes for the most
Mhm.
part.
Oh. So today's moral is the real monsters are the friends we've made along the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Mhm.
I think everyone has like 7, maybe 8 health, and then once you get like 4 damage, it's like you are in deep shit.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
at 4, you're
Ah.
unstable.
Yeah. AKA me and Pan like every week.
Every week. Every
And
week.
But not
I'm a
this
doctor,
week.
and I'm a doctor. Like,
You have lay on hands, and I swear it's backfired more on you than it has on anybody else.
Hey,
Oh,
I've
that's
used
a
it twice now.
Oh, that's a shame because I went with immortal, so I take 1 less damage from everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
Maybe
the
someday.
character is broken. I keep just trying to hit her with as much damage because I don't really remember how much damage she actually takes.
None.
So let's go around and reintroduce yourselves. Tell us where we can find you, and talk about your favorite part of today's dumpster fire.
Okay. Let's start with Jess.
Oh
Where
God.
can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Dr. Jessica Langer, or on Instagram also at Dr. Jessica Langer, but that's private. So if you try to follow me, I may or may not let you follow me because it's private pictures of my kids and all my partner and stuff. And also at the Stormcrow a lot, although now it's closed right now, but we're reopening in Vancouver pretty soon. That's like, here we've got like the mug, and this is my partner's chain of nerd bars. So I'm pretty much always there, either online or in person. But yeah, or hopefully maybe on this stream or another stream, maybe if we start up Roll for Damage again, because like we're all far flung. Thank you for letting me play a professor on the internet, as I also play a professor in real life. And hopefully I'll see y'all soon.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thank you.
right. What was the favorite part of it?
Oh, yes.
today?
Favorite bit. Yes.
Target.
I can't wait.
Target.
Yeah.
Oh man, I miss Target.
You should
Okay.
have gotten that jumper. It would have looked really cute on you.
Yes. Sadness.
Awesome. Thank you. Then we're going to hop over and say hi to Mac. Oh, hi.
Well, my favorite part of session was just, the interaction between folks, and didn't really get to do that much. And it was just real homely to get all that interconnection in such a short time period. You can find me at Evolving Gator and Warning, as I am a meme lord, and there's not much else aside from my art and ramblings there. But yeah, this is a fun experience. I hope to do it again. I don't know what Arlo would do, honestly, as the end of this, with this one experience point from the 2 rolls tonight.
Hey, man.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. And then we're going to hop around and say hello to lovely Lily. Oh, hi.
I've gotten the giggles. I've gotten the giggles. Oh, God. Okay, deep breath. My name is Lily Sparks. I'm the girl with many lives. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lily Sparks with an X. My whole Twitch screen of them. Today was ridiculous. My whole Twitch streaming is in my Twitter bio, so if you want to see me playing a bunch of different characters and doing a lot of weird voices, I do many. So yep, lots of different lives, and love Scratticus Academy. And my favorite part of today, I don't know. I think like Rhys is probably low-key in love with Arlo at this point. Be like, oh my god, because I think she had a crush before on kind of like a frat boy, kind of like a broed out frat boy who worked.
You had a crush on the broed out skateboarder from Jay's Diner. Sure did.
But meeting an angsty teen demon who is torn between good and evil, I feel like that was like her like heart eyes moment where she's like, oh, this is the difference between the boys and demon.
Oh my god.
That's so funny because I feel like he's very similar, just like, oh, she's just like me, but she's a werewolf. Just these similar problems.
I will now go and write fan fiction about this. Okay, bye.
Mac, I want a love letter to Rhys in my DMs tomorrow, so we could read it on air next week.
My love letter will be heart emoji, question mark, heartbreak emoji, question mark.
Do you want to go steady?
Will you be my long distance werewolf, Jeff?
Okay, checkbox. Yes, no, unintelligible, demonic, Creole response.
Yeah, no, I think this is finally the motivation to start drawing again, because I'm going to draw Rosalind, and then I think I'll draw recent Arlo's, like, diner date era.
Can you
Do
guys
it.
draw me in the background like this?
Yes.
In every image, in every single photo.
Yeah, send me a description of Rhys because I feel like that's something worthy of spending time on.
The image that I see in my head, it's like the two of them standing there with their hunchy lankiness, but it like
Hunchy
somehow
lankiness.
forms an art, like a heart, because they're like hunched
Oh god!
and their heads are like together.
I want you to make this as creepy as possible, though. Like,
Yes,
I want you to go, oh, but also be like really put off with how possibly horrifying it is.
I'll throw on some My Bloody Valentine and John Carpenter's The Thing vibes on it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's actually really a shapeshifter monster and a werewolf. The most unlikely of romances.
Or the
I think it's a perfect
likely,
romance.
depending on
You're
the
right.
class.
The most
Come
likely.
back next season for In the Light of the Moon Season 2, Arlo and Rhys's journey.
Episode 3. I'm back from the Demon War.
Me too! Me too!
Also, here's
Uh.
Pan.
Yeah, featuring Pan. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll head over and say hello to our alpha
Oh,
before I head out.
boy. Well, everybody. Thank you for joining us on today's session of Wild Antics. I think we all needed a little bit of a giggle for today with a little bit of lore. It's been a little heavy the past few weeks, so I'm into it. We had a really heavy episode last session with some character growth on Rhys's part. Sorry, my name is Kaya Gaston. You can find me on Twitter at Crit Charisma. I'm starting to post a little bit more. Mostly it's just weird pictures of my dog or really funny conversations between my husband and I, and that's essentially it. And my forever love of Outpost and Jake Stormoen, which everybody was torturing me in the chat today about. So thank you for that and that distraction. Favorite part of today's game was probably uncontrollable laughter as a DM when I realized I killed all of Pan's friends. I should not have
Pan's
been laughing.
just trying to get along, especially with Pan's backstory. Like,
And I hadn't realized it until that point where I was like, oh, I killed all your friends.
she had to.
It's always so awkward when
Not
that
including
happens.
Rhys, yeah.
But now
Yeah.
you've got an immortal demon.
Like Pan's like, oh, here we go again.
This is my first long-term game that I've ever run. I usually just do a bunch of one-shots where we could just all be stupid and crazy and I throw as much into it. So it's been a learning factor and I'm sorry for killing everybody, but I'm also not. But thank you. And again, my other favorite part is just being able to see what you all do in this world that we have created. That's me. Take it away, Alice.
Well, I'm gonna say my favorite part, and part of it is when you realize that you killed all my friends. Because I just see that meme in my head, the Rick and Morty one, and I just see Kaya, oh, here I go killing again. Like, as it goes, which I will be making.
It's like there's so many names.
I will be making that very soon.
That will be my profile picture tomorrow.
But yeah, I love seeing everyone's characters, just the shenanigans, Walmart, you name it, Target. I don't know, American shops, supermarket. There we go.
Kmart.
That stuff. But otherwise, yes, I'm White Rabbit Pick. That's where you can find me on Twitter. It's also where you can find me on Instagram. I'm DM and a player on the Academy. You can see we do lots of fab things. Also a DM on Gilding Light and Tales from the Grim. Both with Lily. Also,
Awesome show.
I want to play again. But yes, we have sponsors. Please check out our sponsors, the wonderful Maychan Press. You can check out their Fae Folio tomorrow. It is one of our viewer games, so if you'd like to hop into a viewer game, go drop Scrat a DM on Twitter. They also created Dark Matter, which is just D&D in space smushed together, and it's a wonderful thing. Everyone needs that in their life. Also, Hero Forge. Catch Scrat and I tomorrow drinking too much coffee at 2 p.m. EDT as we play through their beta from the Kickstarter. We've had so much fun making their minis so far already, and I may have to make Pan tomorrow. I that's what I'm gonna have to do. So come check that out. Also, Dungeon Fog with their map making and keeping all of your notes to go along with your one-shots or campaigns. You can check it all out over there. And last but certainly not least, also the Deck of Many, with the Deck of Many Things, the Moving Magic spell cards, and their Kickstarter for all the new fun stuff that is coming out. We also run their Humblewood campaign on a Thursday, which is also one of our viewer games, if you want to come try that out. But yes, if you want to come and play in a viewer game, one like this, it will be shenanigans. So go drop Scrat a DM on Twitter and we'll get you in a game. We also have a Discord. Please go and check that out as well. There is a channel just for this game where we love to go and scream into the void about it afterwards in all the best ways, and we'd love to hear what you think. Also, if you want to catch up or you've missed anything, you can head over to YouTube and rewatch everything. All of our games are in playlists over there. Otherwise, we'll be back next with some more games, but keep evoking emotions, and we'll see you later. Bye.